Thank you for calling 1-800-SAD-DESIGN. It is just me today. Ty is busy. He's visiting family out of town and just has a busy schedule, so it's just me. And this will probably be a very short little mini episode just because I don't think I could talk to myself for an hour. It's easier when, you have someone to keep conversation with because like when you find a lull in the conversation or you fall short in the conversation, there's someone else there to pick it up. So this is entirely relying on you today. So it's going to be interesting. You'll see me like nervous click my pen and stuff because this is for some reason the most nervous I've been to record an episode. But I guess I'll just get into it. Do a little check-in. I'm like 2 weeks out from my current job ending. I knew when I got hired on that it was only a temporary position, but there was also a little bit of that hope because I was told that I might be able to stay on. And so I was holding on to that for the longest time. And my manager did fight for me, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. But taking that into account, I've been proactive. And about a month ago, I started applying for jobs. But I will get into that in a little bit. I'm also doing a couple of fun little side projects right now, freelance, and also for the bar I work at. The bar is just for fun now. Like, it's just really where I go to goof off and be creative with my friends now. And honestly, it's a good outlet with everything that's kind of going on work-wise, like professionally, to kind of have, that place where I can still like create things and also have fun and just like get out of my head for a little bit because not everything is as serious as they make it out to be. I'm also doing this little freelance project for a friend. They're starting this like little blog where they post about local bands and stuff, specifically like punk, garage, metal, kind of the weird, unique bands in the Treasure Valley, which is super cool. So I'm working on a little logo and brand guide for it, which will be coming out soon, and I'm super excited about it. This is like the first logo that I've like, it's hand drawn lettering, and I really wanted it to, kind of have that punk, funky, rough vibe, and I think it came out pretty well. I'm still working on getting it grunged up, but also like usable for, digital assets and stuff, because I'm also making her some Canva templates and things that she can work with and design or update for herself for whatever her needs are. So, I don't have to be a part of that all the time, or another designer doesn't have to be a part of that all the time. And, she's able to easily use it for what she needs. So, probably more news on that in future episodes. I don't want to like release the whole thing before, she's ready to release it. So that'll be out soon. I'm super excited for it and excited for her. I'm looking to take on more freelance projects. Don't know what that entails yet. But I guess that will lead me into my little mini design talk that I'll do today. It's been a really hard week just because of that impending doom that I'm going to be out of a job in 2 weeks, and nothing has come up yet. This has kind of been like a 2-year hunt since, graduating college, looking for a job. I only got my current position as a temp because, I knew someone. And it's quite unfortunate that that's the only way you can find a job these days. That my bartending position has really helped me find connections and new friends. And they're always like, oh, you should talk to this person. And then I talk to this person, and they're like, you should talk to that person. And it's like, it's really cool how everyone like knows each other, but it's like not getting anywhere. I'm not getting to that right person. And so I guess I just got to keep trying that avenue. But the biggest joke of all is, filling out job applications. Um, there's so many out there, but it doesn't feel like enough at the same time. I feel like I keep seeing a lot of repeats of the same job over and over again, and every application stating that there's like over 100 applicants, and it makes like the whole, process feel demoralizing or like a joke because it's like if there's over 100 applicants on this, what are the chances that they're actually going to look at mine? And because I've been applying for jobs for well over a month now, like I have not heard a single thing back from any of, I think I've applied for 40 jobs now at this point. I've not heard a single thing back. And it's like, what happened to even like sending me an email, letting me know that you looked over my resume at least. And even if you don't think I'm the best fit for the job, that's fine. Just acknowledge that I took the time to fill out your 50-page questionnaire and turn in my resume because I am interested. I want to be a part of something. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And it's not just like the design world either. I know a lot of other people who are looking for, non-design related jobs, and they're having the same issue. And it's hard because like, what's the point? And I have accepted the fact that I'm going to have to like go back to serving or bartending full time, which I don't want to do. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with those jobs. They're necessary, and like I have enjoyed them in the past, but at the same time it's not, what drives me, and I do get really drained talking to people after, a long extended period of time. But if it's what you have to do in the moment, it's what you have to do in the moment. I have a little interview for a pizza place tomorrow. And it's the only reason I got the interview for this pizza place is because it's a sister company to the bar I work at. So it is all about who you know. But it's really frustrating to see all this happening, and it's taken its toll on me mentally, I feel like. Because I get in this like mindset where I feel like so numb and freaked out that I like can't even bring myself to do anything for like my work, for my personal work, or just for myself, just because I can't stop thinking about this impending end that's going to be happening. And it's been really hard to get out of that mindset that it's not my fault. And because I know I am a hard worker, and I know that I am a good designer, and I have a lot to offer for anyone, but it's not on me. Makes me think about like what really is happening. Like, is it AI, or is the assistant kind of replacing the worker, or is it just the economy or something else I can't name? I don't know. It just feels a little degrading. I hope, after a while, something does come. I don't want to give up, but it definitely does have its emotional impact, and makes it hard for me to keep, pushing forward because it's not getting anywhere. I'm not seeing results. And, this has been a 2-year long struggle, but I go through these, ebbs and flows where I'm really down, and then I'm really excited because I'm like, I can do this for myself. And then, I'm right back to where I started again. But I've been thinking about doing freelancing full time. That's another scary thing though, because if I do that full time and not anything else, then, I don't know how I can depend on it, just simply because it's not always consistent. And that's what I really want, is consistency. It's been really nice these last few months finally having a job that isn't reliant on tips, and I can just go to work for 8 hours and I get paid the same amount every time. Um, yeah, and there's also a lot to think about with like what services I provide. Do I just bring everything in, or do I specialize in one area of design? Be like, this is my thing. But I don't really want to do that because I don't know. I quite like it all. I don't want to stay stuck doing one thing. I think that's what makes applying for some of these bigger companies so hard too is, very strict brand guidelines, which is fine. I've been doing that for 5 years now, working with very strict brand guidelines, and like I have found workarounds of being creative, within those bounds. But I like the freedom of doing my own thing, and I like when people come to me and say, I have this idea, what can you do with it? And, kind of being the one to structure it, to figure it out, to make these connections, and, to give the idea its own visual story. And I'm not finding anything that does that. And so that's why I think freelancing would be a good thing. It's just scary to get into. And there's also that, the biggest struggle of everyone wants, human creativity, but no one wants to actually pay for it. And because there's been a couple projects recently that I have been like, wow, should have been paid more for that. But, oh well. I've been telling myself it's for the portfolio, it's for the experience. You gotta start somewhere. But it doesn't always pay my bills. Um, it's been, I've been trying to redefine my success and remind myself that like fulfillment doesn't come from the paycheck, although it's nice and, necessary. I have to remind myself that it's nothing that I'm doing. Are there things that, I could continue doing and things that I could do better yet at? Of course, there always is for everyone. But, you know, there's moments where I have to, this will be my sad tirade today. Moments where I have to, redesign my mindset, to take a step back. And, like today, I was having a really hard time getting my work done. I did like the bare minimum, got all my tasks done that were due today, and then I kind of just like got stuck staring at the wall or like doom scrolling. And that's another thing I want to get rid of entirely is just like burn my phone. I don't need it. It's a distraction, and I feel like we all get so lost in the screens that we're all losing our own thoughts. But today, again, having to take the step back, realize that, I'm paralyzed. What's going to get me out of this? And I went and to my room, stepped away from the computer, and I love fall sunlight so much, especially the way it comes in my window in my room. And I just was like, I kind of basked in it for a second, and I was like, okay, yes, this is what I needed some vitamin D, and what is it that I want to do? And so I was like, I'm just going to doodle for a second and see what comes of it. And I drew this little frog, and she's wearing, it's hard to see on the camera, a little sunflower sweater and skirt. That's all I doodled, but I was like, it was a good moment to bring myself like back to reality of, oh, you are fun. You do have a creative mind. You're gonna be fine. The sun is shining. It'll still shine tomorrow. And it's something that I want to continue doing for myself is staying creative even when I'm burnt out like I am right now and feeling down. I have some plans for tomorrow that I will pick up this episode on later, um, to do some little creative things once I get done with work. But I think it's important to take those steps back and do something personal, for yourself. And it's also important to kind of have a community and a support system, that also fulfills you and, your creative endeavors, or just outside of that as well. Because I know it's hard as artists to separate yourself from your work, because I don't know if it's just me, but the creative mind does not ever shut up. So it's nice to do things outside of that. And I think I've found this like perfect little group going right now that it's like I was saying earlier, I'm allowed to be creative, but we all still have fun together at the same time. And it feels like the work is separated. And I think we all need that. Because not everything is about work. And I think we're all too hard on ourselves. And the best ideas and best creativity comes, when our minds are free and not shackled down by all the stressors and, I don't know, overthinking. Overthinking is the biggest thing. It's my worst enemy, that's for sure. This is a very depressing episode. Ty, where are you? I need you to come back. I feel like I'm losing traction talking to myself. Luckily I am home alone right now, because I feel like if my roommates were here, they literally think I had gone around the bend. And then they'll probably listen to this episode later and be laughing. But yeah. Tomorrow, my creative plans are, once I'm done with my work tasks, are to do some bookbinding. I have some Christmas gifts that I want to, or Christmas books that I want to do for my dad. He knows what's coming, so if it's on camera, it's whatever. But I also have this other book I could work on too. But show you how I got you guys how I take apart the books and get them prepped for binding, and then maybe I will do a little like sketch or like inspiration run of what I want to do on the covers and vinyl. And then another project that I could do tomorrow is the holidays are coming up so fast already, but I got this little stocking for my cat at the Antique World Mall, and it's like red and white and green striped, and it has like I heart cats at the top of it, but it doesn't say cats. It has like a little cat icon on it. It's super cute, and it's antique. It's like, it looks like it's from 80s, 90s, but I'm gonna add his name to the back of it in vinyl so we can hang it up for Christmas, because I'm obsessed with my cat and he deserves a stocking too. He already has stocking stuffers. I have not gotten gifts for anyone else but my cat. My cat has gifts ready to go, so he's spoiled. Yeah, so those are my little creative plans for tomorrow, and I will pick up this episode tomorrow morning once I've worked some more on my freelance project and get some sleep, because that's important too. Another part of self-care. But yeah, I'll pick this up tomorrow with a fresh mind, and I'm already feeling better about everything, after talking about some of the feelings and the emotional impact that this whole experience, has been playing on me. But I'm gonna go take a shower, work a little more, and go to bed. And tomorrow will be a new day to pick this back up again with something fun and less depressing. I don't know. And we'll see where the conversation takes us tomorrow. So, chat with you guys in a second. I should have structured this video or this recording a little differently because, like, if you're listening to this, it's just going to be one continuous, audio track. If you're watching the video, it makes a little more sense. You can obviously tell that this is a new day, this is a new environment. I'm in a little office area instead of sitting all relaxed in my room. But we're back. It's the next day. Today was a little busier than I had anticipated. It's a lot later than I wanted to do this video, so it'll be a little bit shorter than I had anticipated because I have other plans and things to do tonight. But like I said a little bit earlier in this episode, I was going to show you how I prep books for binding, and then I was going to make a little stocking for my cat. Well, the stocking's made. I'm just adding his name to it in vinyl. So, yeah, I should have thought I was recording earlier and I wasn't. So I was tearing the covers off of these books, these text blocks, which the cover's already gone. They're here in a pile. I didn't realize that all the books that I have to rebind right now are all Brandon Sanderson books. That was a total coincidence. Like, yes, these two are a part of a series that I'm doing for my dad. He already has the first one. So I'm doing the other two in the series for him. The Mistborn series from Brandon Sanderson. I can speak. And then the other book I still have to take the cover off of is this Brandon Sanderson book, Tress of the Emerald Sea. I found this at the thrift store for like 50 cents. It's doesn't have the original like sleeve on it because this is a hardback. So the sleeve is missing, and then like the hardback itself is pretty beat up. It has these really awesome end pages in it though that I'm going to see if I can try to keep, or at least keep one side of them. I noticed that in the front and the back they're different. I haven't read the story yet. It's on my TBR, but I thought it would be cool to rebind it since it was just like cheap and in need of help at the thrift store. So usually once I was going to show a little bit more on how I do this bookbinding process, but I don't have all the materials I need right now. I thought I did, and it turns out I didn't. My memory sucks sometimes. But once they're in this text block phase, that's when I start measuring out like the new end papers I'm going to put on. The end papers have to be the same width and height as the text block, and you just very lightly glue them along the spine here. And once those end pages are on, then you cover the spine of the text block in cheesecloth, and that just, kind of keeps it together and also gives the spine the flexibility to move once you get the hardback cover on, so you're not like cracking anything. And then I'll measure out my chipboard once that's all put together to be like 1/8 of an inch off the three sides that aren't the spine. Because you know how most hardback books have like this one that I got at their store, a little bit of space between the edge of the backing and the pages itself. So these two are ready to go with cheesecloth or end papers, which it's the end papers I don't have. I have like the book cloth to go on the cover, and I have the chipboard. Although it's this really thin chipboard that I accidentally got and I couldn't return. And so I've been like gluing multiple sheets of the chipboard together, and it still works. I've done a couple books with it, and it still works like normal chipboard. So, I guess I can take the cover off of this one and talk with you guys. Find the X-Acto knife. It breaks my soul a little bit to like do this. Just because I'm a huge reader. I love books. I think they're pretty. I usually get books faster than I can read them. And I mostly buy them because of how they look. I judge a book by its cover. It's hard not to. Although I have read some fantastic books that don't always have great covers. This one's glued on here. Jeez. Okay, one side's off. I had that little interview at the pizza place today that I got. Got a job in 9 minutes. I think that's a new record. I'm going back tomorrow for a little, not necessarily a test run. He just wants me to see the environment. I guess he was worried about me working in a fast-paced environment. Little does he know that the last restaurant I worked at, I literally could run that place by myself with 23 tables and a full bar. So it'll be fine. But I don't know. Restaurant interviews are so different than design interviews. They're way more laid back. I'm never really stressed for them. More stressed than I should be because I know it's easy peasy. With the restaurant food service industry, it's like they always need help and they need help fast. So if they like your personality and can tell that you're a hard worker, you're on in 5 minutes. But I don't know. I think there was a different expectation too going into this one because it's like I was recommended for this and these people are interviewing me based on someone else's word. And while that's great that someone, thinks I'm fit enough for a position, it's still what if I'm not what the employer was expecting? However, it doesn't seem like they'll be able to give me the hours that I need to pay my bills. So I might have 3 jobs. I'll work at the pizza place, the bar, and do freelance stuff, which is just super awesome. I love that. Okay, this text box for you. I'm going to get rid of as much of this cardboard on the spine as I can. I realized I started editing what I had recorded last night just so I have a jump start on things because I don't have a lot of time these next couple days. And I realized how bad my audio quality is with my headphones or my earbuds. And I was like, if I would have planned better, like I should always do, I should have asked Ty if I could have stolen my microphone from the studio room because that sounds way better than my AirPods. So apologies in advance for terrible audio quality. I'm just one girl trying to figure this out. There's this super cool event that the bar I'm working at is doing during the winter months to try to get people in because it's been very slow, and also they have a couple collab beers that they want to promote, but they're doing Mario Kart tournaments. So there's a screen where you play Mario Kart, but there's actual RC cars racing around the floor too that follow what you're doing. I did it last week with them. Very fun. The only thing is you can't watch the little RC car because you will get lost. It's backwards from what it is on the screen. So I ended up in a corner at one point last week and I couldn't get out of it, but I still won my race, which was unbelievable. So I'm doing that a little later just for fun to get away from stuff and away from work for a little bit. Yeah. Text block is off the Tress of the Emerald Sea. Is that what it's called? Yeah. It also has this really pretty artwork in it as well. This is just the standard edition of it. This book's still fairly new. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I do like paperbacks better than hardbacks. I like the flop, the softness of them. I'm reading, it's on my desk right now. I have so much going on my desk. But I'm reading Alchemize by Sin Lin Yu right now. and it's over a 1,000-page book, and it weighs a ton. It doesn't look that big, but it weighs a ton because the pages are really fine. But it's really hard, like when I'm laying in bed trying to read, and I like want to drop the book on my face because it's just so solid. So paperbacks. I don't know how to bind paperbacks. Maybe that's like the next thing I look into. But this weekend, gonna go get supplies to finish binding these, and then I'm also gonna move on to my little stocking that I got for my cat today. Or I didn't get the stocking today, but we're gonna work on it today. Yeah, I got this from the Antique World Mall, and it feels very delicate. I don't want to do anything too crazy to it because it's already like so cute and perfect with its red, white, and green stripes. And I love cats. I was originally gonna put his name like on the back, like of the stocking because it already has the I love cats on the front. But this is what you're gonna see. So I'm thinking maybe putting his name just smaller on one of the stripes so you can see, both. Or just it's all on one side, not on two sides, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm going to really quickly send something to my Cricut to cut out. I'm using this little white sparkly vinyl from Cricut, the Smart Iron-On. I like their smart materials because it goes like really easily through the Cricut, but they are kind of expensive. But I use them for special occasions like this because cat deserves all the best things in the world. But I use this on a stocking I did last year for work, this sparkly vinyl, and it's cute. It'll give a little contrast to the stocking, I think. I'm gonna put the iron on like the lowest setting when I iron it on because it's old and delicate and I don't want to like accidentally melt it. I just hope it goes on okay. So we'll figure it out together. I will be back in a little bit when I get that cut out, and I'll weed it and yap at you some more. I thought it was gonna be real cool and actually like show you guys like this is my Cricut setup. This is it cutting out Rowan's little name on vinyl, but I am not a TikToker nor a social media person. I keep thinking I'd like to be, and like I do love like creating things, and I always think I would like to be a content creator until I actually have to do it. It just always feels so awkward like carrying your camera around and acting like it's normal. But that could just be me. Also, the Cricut's kind of loud, and I was like, no one wants to listen to that, and everyone knows what a Cricut is by now, hopefully. And this isn't, why I'm here. This isn't the purpose of this lovely podcast we got going on today. Okay, I cut out his name. I think it might be a little too big for what I got, but look how sparkly it is. Oh wait, you can't see how sparkly it is. The lighting in my little area right now is really bad because it's very stormy outside. I normally love the natural light that comes in this little area that's like my work area, but today all the lights are on and I hate overhead lights. I was going to turn on that lamp, but we had a Halloween party not too long ago, and there's like a party light in there, and it's like all, it spins like a disco ball, and it's all bright colors and everything. But yeah, let me quickly read this. When I'm like stressed about the holidays like usual, even though it's going to be a chill one this year, like my family kind of decided, it's going to be a little relaxed. We don't have to get each other gifts, which is fine. But it's one of my favorite things about this time of year is getting to create little fun things for people or things like this. I don't know, the holidays just feel very crafty. Not that you can't do that like any other time. It's just more fun when it's done with like a purpose to give to to other people. I think I accidentally made this a little too big. I also added some snowflakes too because why not? I think one of the fun things about like holiday design is it's all very like extra and overdone, a little unnecessary, but like it's, you know, nostalgic at the same time. But it's all we did. I like when they're little and easy like that. I might have to cut off one of the snowflakes because it might be too long. Yeah. I had one on each side of his name, but I think I'm gonna cut the one off the end. Or maybe I'll cut both of them off and kind of have them like staggered and we'll put them in a different place. Let's do that. They don't have to be connected to the name. And then the decision is, do I put it in one stripe or in the middle of these two stripes? I think in the middle of these two stripes. If you're watching the video, hopefully you agree with me, because that's what I'm doing. I also fixed these little pom-poms that it had on here because they were like falling apart. It's one of my friends and I's favorite things to do together. If you heard that sound, it's just the iron. But one of our favorite things to do together is go thrifting, and like we love the Antique World Mall. Like we can't go there without spending money. And the amount of money is different every time. So I was like, I can't say how much, but there's always something to find. It cracks me up though, because some of that stuff is like not antique at all. But to each their own. Someone will like it, someone will buy it. Okay, hopefully we don't melt this. I put it pretty low, but I might have to hold it on the iron on longer. Ooh, it already smells. Excuse the moment of silence. Ready for Ty to come back now. Where's his quick quip on something that I'm doing or something that's going on? Is this a cold remove or do you remove it when it's hot? Some of the boxes say, and others do not. Doesn't say. I think the safest bet is to just always remove the plastic when it's cool. You can always tell, like you peel up the little corner, and if it's not coming, then, you know, press the iron back on it for a second and it will come back up. Okay, it's actually coming off warm. Oh, and it went on smooth. I'm impressed. I was scared. It's so cute. And then I think I'll add like little snowflakes just like a little below and above maybe. Yeah, that's so cute. I was gonna try to find my cat so he could be a part of the video, but he's camera shy. And for some reason he doesn't like my desk area. Like I try to get him to like sit next to me or hang out with me because, you know, I work from home. I get lonely and bored in my little corner and I want a cute little thing to look at, but he for some reason just does not like this corner. Will not have it. There's this like blue antique chair that's my roommate's that's next to my desk, and it's from the 70s. It's super cute. It's low to the ground, but it kind of rocks. And he, for a while, was so attached to my hip that he was like, I'll sit next to you on this chair, but he does not like that chair because it rocks. And he'll like jump on top of it and like kind of wobble for a second and then debates whether or not he actually wants to sit down. He does sometimes, but I'm impressed with how well this went on here. I was worried that it would like fall right off or it wouldn't stick, it would melt the stocking, but bam, easy. So cute. We're in a new house this holiday season, me and my roommates, and so our Christmas setup's gonna be a little different than it normally is. In the last house, we had this like really big living room, and so we could just go decorate to the max, and we had a nice like real fireplace to hang our stockings on. But in this house, it's the living area is a lot smaller, and um, we don't have a fireplace anymore. So we're like, where do we hang our stockings? And we're thinking about like hanging them up this stairwell, just at like the bottom where you can still see them downstairs, not all the way up because there's just like this. You can kind of see it behind me if you're watching the video, a big wall that you can't see it from downstairs. So yeah, this cute little stocking is done. Is that all on my creative list for right now? I wish I had thought of to look and see if I had the materials for my bookbinding, but that's planning too far ahead, and we can't do that. Now I need to clean up my desk because it is a mess. But yeah, that's all I have for right now. I know this episode is a little different than previous ones and talked about some different things than normal, but I feel like, especially at the beginning, it was still very on theme with our core message and values of 1-800 Sad Design. This was my rant episode. This was me calling into the hotline and trying to make sense of my own design problems. We'll just say that. But I think I'm gonna end it here. No fawn of the week this week. I want to wait for Ty to do that because it's fun getting to look at each other's stuff and kind of, bounce ideas off of each other. So I'll wait for him to do that. So there's still the font of the week is still the same as last episode's. I think it's called Elsewhere, and it's available on Adobe fonts. And I guess I will do a little Instagram recap of what I did by myself this episode. I think it'll be titled DZGN-ing Alone, but spelled like how the podcast is spelled. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for calling 1-800 Sad Design. As always, keep designing, find things that keep you inspired, and never stop dialing into design, or more importantly, dialing into yourself and what you need. So until next time, guys. Bye.